what's happening, guys? In a recent interview with the Nerdist podcast, Sam Raimi talks about Spider-Man 3. In fact, he calls it awful and he thinks it could have been a lot better. Now, as we know by now from all the recent Sony Pictures leaked emails, Sony at some point tried to approach Sam Raimi to actually bring him back to the Spider-Man franchise and perhaps take him as a producer or maybe even a director. There were such emails, they were trying to get him back. We don't know if Sam Raimi responded to these emails at all, but the fact is still that Sony tried to reach for help from Sam Raimi. Now, during the podcast, Sam Raimi admits that the story could have been a lot better and it was just a wrong story. Spider-Man 3 was not how he imagined it to be and not how it was supposed to be from his point of view and what he really wanted to be and what we got as a result. Quote, "It's a movie that just didn't work very well. I tried to make it work, but I didn't really believe in all the characters. So that couldn't be hidden from people who loved Spider-Man. If the director doesn't love something, it's wrong of them to make it when so many other people love it. I think raising the stakes after Spider-Man 2 was the thinking going into it, and I think that's what Doom does. I should have just stuck with the characters and the relationship and progressed them to the next step and not tried to top the bar." Later on, Sam Raimi suggested by the interviewer that the directors shouldn't really talk bad about their films and that they don't think Spider-Man 3 was bad and that bad is the right word, to what Sam Raimi responds, "Awful." Of course, Spider-Man 3 was obviously the worst from Sam Raimi's trilogy, but was it really that bad? I don't think so. As you might know from my review, it's not really that bad. Sure, they rushed Venom without giving the character the justice, the whole black suit origin, particular scenes with Tobey Maguire's acting, the annoying Mary Jane Watson. Overall, not so well writing of this story. Yep, not the amount of villains, but actually the writing and how they were presented. But there's plenty of action, great CGI, one Sandman, just him being alone already made the movie so much more enjoyable. The CGI of Sandman and the fight scene between the black suit, Spider-Man and Sandman. There are plenty of stuff good actually about Spider-Man 3, but overall, of course, yep, it's the worst out of the trilogy. In fact, the worst Spider-Man film considered by many. It's not only about Sam Raimi, who wasn't given the full creative control. Even the writer himself, Alvin Sargent, who wanted to make Spider-Man 3 in two parts, where Eddie Brock gets the symbiote and becomes Venom, and it's actually a cliffhanger with part 1 ending there and part 2 is all about Spider-Man versus Venom, and whose original script was slightly different than what we've got in the actual movie. He was disappointed, of course, as well. Sony really put their noses into the whole business. They changed the script, they changed the story, they made director to include certain characters such as Venom, which wasn't really needed, and here's the result. And the fact that they repeated the same mistakes with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 just simply means that they haven't learned anything and they just need to give the director, particular director, the full creative control. If you hire a director, let him do the job, don't mess up with his job, don't give him useless advices, let him do the job since you hired the guy, and the guy is obviously has some huge talent. Sam Raimi, he grew up with Spider-Man poster in his bedroom. The guy is a Spider-Man fan, so it's very interesting to see how the whole film could have been if Sony didn't force the director to include certain stuff. In fact, we know some stuff which was supposed to be in Spider-Man 3. For that, check out the video in the description box where we talk about Spider-Man 3.1 petition. As for Sam Raimi calling it awful, I don't think it's his honest opinion. It's just the guy who wanted to make a film his way and he wasn't given such an opportunity. It's more about him being mad at Sony and just calling a movie distributed by Sony awful. I don't think he thinks Spider-Man 3 was that bad. Hell, I'm sure Marvel Disney aren't telling Josh Whedon what to do and how to direct the Avengers. They didn't give him any advice. They hired the guy to do the job and he did his job. Producers should do their own job, Avi Arad should do his own job, the director should do his own job, and the studio, they have to do their own job, just distribute the film, producer just produce the film, director just direct the film, and writer just write the damn film. Producer isn't the director, he shouldn't interact with the script at all. Anyway, you can check out the full podcast in the description box, and I want to use this minute to tell you guys a Happy New Year. Of course, I hope all your wishes will come true, you will get what you really want in 2015. But most important, of course, let's hope that the 2015 will be actually a year where huge changes for the better will surround Spider-Man, will come with Spider-Man, and hopefully Marvel and Sony eventually will make this deal. They are meeting at Pinewood Studios in February, and there's a Spidey Summit, Sony Spidey Summit in January. Let's hope that 2015 will be a year of change for our beloved Spidey. So happy New Year once again, thanks for watching guys, and see ya next year.